Hey everyone, it's Will, GamerDad, with another video for you. So first off, I'd like to give a shout out to one of my Patreon supporters, Ben. Thanks for your support. Now in today's video, we're going to just show up the farming results over the last 3 weeks, and I hope all of you have been getting great drops, either chants, the treatises you need, or both. You can see we started off the video with a bang, one chant script right off the bat from Satellite Stadium. I do apologize for not doing as many live streams recently. Real life has been a little bit busier, and also, of course, some technical issues have kind of prevented me from doing that on a regular basis. So hopefully we'll go back to that soon. That being said, let me know what you're saving for or hoping for in terms of treatises and chants. I know that chants, of course, everyone needs them at all times unless you do spend some money in the game. And for free-to-plays, of course, I've mentioned this in other videos, but this is essentially the only way to really conserve Chronostones while still keeping your roster relatively fresh for upcoming challenges. If you haven't caught that video, I do have one about the realities of free-to-play and how to kind of manage your Chronostones. And no video is complete without having another Shining Shadow Treatise drop into our midst. And of course, the Titanias and the other, relative junk ones. However, the Draco Notice is one that's not too bad at all. I believe this is my second Draco Notice. In this case, the Anabar is also another one I'm looking forward to. This is my fourth one, so I only need one more if I need to upgrade his mana. However, with the advent of having the normal style having a manifest, not even sure if I need to rush that particular content. So we'll have to see how Water Team does against some of the super bosses in game. If I don't need it, as usual, I will hold back the chants and treatises and push them forward to another upgrade. For those who are still interested in wondering what I'm doing, I am actually saving. We should only be a couple of updates away from Goddess of Time, and so as you all know, I'm probably going to be using a vast majority of my stones on summoning on the Nikoko banner in hopes of getting at least Nikoko, if not ES Sukiya. And based on that, after the poll, I'll decide whether or not I'm going to be upgrading anyone at that time. It also depends on how those dual old Eastern horrors teamed up together, how I fare against those as well. I do know that, for example, I'm still working on AS Yuan. I am looking for AS Miyu. Some of the more powerful units such as AS Thilili, so on and so forth. Even AS Suzuki could be a welcome upgrade, although I haven't had any sort of challenges up to now in terms of defeating current content. And so, as usual, hold back until you absolutely need the unit before either summoning or upgrading. That would do the best for you. Now, once AS Thilili's banner dropped, I was able to pick up my first Abyss Liberator Treatise out of the dungeon for, of course, her new dungeon, or AS Clark's new dungeon. I'm actually not sure if those kind of Mythos units drop more frequently in the AS treatises on that particular dungeon. However, hey, I won't complain. And I do have now enough Curse Seeker treatises if I do decide to upgrade AS Yuan. I know that he basically forms the bulk of most powerful fire teams or blunt team. I also still have a 4.5 Yifa, so I have to work on whether or not I'm going to pay for the 5 chance to upgrade that when the time is right. Now, one thing I will say about the Covert Agent Treatise, I actually am pretty sad. At one point, the Covert Agent Treatise was very, very useful, and now, it really isn't so much. And so I find that a lot of units are quite like that, where, you pull on the unit, and I pulled on AS Renri at the time to unlock the ability to get Renri. Only a few months after getting AS Renri, her power was already superseded by other units, although I will say I did put very, very good use to OG or normal style Renri. Okay, so we have one of many, many White Gate keys, and let's see if we can finish this one with a bang. Let me know in the comments below when's the last time you've made it to the PCD and how far have you gotten. I will also say that I'm really hoping that eventually we get that Japan update where the maximum amount of cat stamps are increased. I've been actually sitting at 950 for some time and have not got any bonus cat stamps since then. All right, let's go with the tried and true Wind Crystal all the way. And we made it finally to Elzion. Nice.
Stop flexing, Dad.
Now, I actually have some interesting choices as to what to go for. Since, of course, when we get to Elzion, we finally meet the Sensationalist. I have not seen the Sensationalist down in the Cape, but so what? I'm very happy to see him in Elzion as long as we can make it that far. So, we have a lot of different choices. We have, for example, the Fortuna treaties, which I don't have any of. We can go with some of the newer ones. There's the Codex, Abyss Liberator, for example. And being that we only have one of Aes Thilili, this will be our second and make us one closer to getting Aes Thilili. I do think she's among the top DPS in the game, both fire units. You can argue, for Shade, obviously she's top tier. She fits into a lot of different teams, and not only that, her AoEs is just immense. All right. So you just saw me get another Starlight Treatise, and if you caught my video on AS Iska's 5-star review, I did actually put very, very good use to those Starlight Treatises. I was able to break down a few different VC Grasta and get the true VC Grasta for Starlight. I'm not sure if I'm going to regret that decision in the future, being that every time you make a true VC Grasta, you actually use a lot of resources. You have to essentially use 30 tomes, upgrade them once, and then shred them to get 10 special crystals for each one. You'll use those 10 special crystals, of course, to upgrade the other VC Grastas of your choice, and then you have to combine 3 of the same VC Grasta to get the true VC Grasta, which increases the stats from 5-5 to 15-15. I do think that I'm actually going to be using AS Iska for many, many uses. Her debuff of 30-30 will allow me to survive a lot of different type fights. So we finally made it also to farming Serene to 140. Now, I won't say that's extremely difficult, given the fact that I've been concentrating all my green keys on, finishing Serene in future Garlia. I should really go back to farming more Shadow on Garyu, but at this point, the rewards in future are probably much more valuable in terms of getting more chance and hopefully some of those ores to enhance some of the other upgrades. On another note, we are working on, of course, getting more Clark Shadow. At the time of this video, of course, we've already had the City of Lost Paradise as our most current Mythos dungeon, although a reminder that you can grind any shadow for Clark through any of the 4 dungeons in Zebariah, so don't forget that. Here's a Silken Wisp treaty, which again is actually very, very useful. I have, I believe, 4 of those, and I also now have 4 Minerva treatises, so just one off from a lot of different units. Even the Draco Notice has been, I will say, haunting me in a good way, of course. And the Susanoo is my 3rd. So I've actually unlocked a lot of potential content in terms of either buying the 2 or 1 treaties from the Emporium as needed when the time comes. So some advice is definitely to not be scared about buying treatises in the shop from the Napoleon Emporium. Just again, you really have to balance which ones you're going for, because again, those Siberius gems, you only get essentially 120 per week, and if you're like me and buy all the red keys and all the green key, you only end up with a net gain of 20 Siberius gems per week. Now, one alternate way of doing it is to skip buying keys for a week or so, and then save up enough if you really need that 5th treatise. So the next milestone for Clark will be the 175, and that actually in 25 will be very, very useful. So hopefully I grind out to the 175 and then move back to Aldo to finish up his 255. I know the Goddess Time is coming soon, and with the upgrades that are coming to all the main story characters, that will be very, very valuable in making Aldo great again. For those who don't know, once we get to Japan, he will have another buff. All the main story characters have a buff, but his buff will be such that one or more of his super moves or his his special moves will rely on the amount of light he has. And so if you have 255 light, you'll get max damage. I'm at 233 or so, and I do have enough guiding light items to max them out without running dungeons if needed be.
I'm just going to interrupt my dad here, and I'm going to pick his white Yakey. So I am going to pick the lake, I think. And we made it to our industrial ruins, not El Zion, but we're halfway there. I'm going to now pick the middle ladder. And, oh, we died. Wait, is that what I think it is? Is that the sensationalist? Whoa. I've actually gotten this myself before, but I got it for my dad. Also, earlier I got my dad Abyss Liberator treaties. So, I think you should pick the Hecaco Cherries Codex. Stop flexing me! Wow.
It's actually a pretty difficult choice. I was actually deciding between the Abyss Liberator and the Codex. However, upon the advice of my youngest, Andros Prime, we're going to go with the Force Codex, being that we're only one away now from finishing up ES Molina, which I'm also very, very excited to add to my arsenal eventually. Did I make the right choice? We'll have to see. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.